Hello there.
This video is going to be an update about me, the channel, and a few exciting announcements for new projects in development. So if you're looking for a GameMaker tutorial, this isn't it. But I will share some valuable life lessons that I think directly connect to being a great game developer. So stick around, I think you'll still learn some cool things and hopefully get a bit inspired. Otherwise, just jump to the end to find the cool announcements. Overall, it's been about a year since I have created any new content for this channel or my website. The last big launch was my GameMaker book, and the last tutorial was about creating a Flappy Bird clone. I didn't die, as you can tell, but a lot has certainly happened since then. Life really picked up for me last February when my wife and I bought our first house. And buying a house is typically a big undertaking, especially the first time. There's so much excitement, nervousness, and unknown variables flying around that it's easy to get lost in it all. But of course, we couldn't do anything the easy way, like buying a house that was ready to move in. Oh no. We went and bought a fixer-upper, like the kind you see on those HGTV shows. My wife and I had always loved the idea of buying a fixer-upper and working together on it. We save lots of money because the house needs work, so it's cheaper to buy. We learned valuable life skills along the way, all of those fun, joyous things, but it didn't work that way, and I underestimated how much work this house would need. And I overestimated how quickly I could pick up the skills and tools to do the work. The house we bought was owned by a hoarder, so before we even got the keys, I had to help them move out a tremendous amount of stuff that they wanted to keep. Every room was packed with boxes, bits and baubles, and every sort of miscellaneous item you can imagine. It was a lot of work and energy, but we finally got most everything out, which only took like 5 dump runs and a huge trailer. We threw away cabinets, old paintings, yard junk, and even walls and an entire bathroom. After that, the real work began. The house isn't huge and it's pretty old. The carpets were that old, ugly orange color and they stank. So we ripped them all up, and then we put in new floors in every single room, including the kitchen. This kitchen had a movable dishwasher, a sink facing the inside wall, and almost no countertop space. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't functional. That meant it had to go. Yep, we completely ripped out the kitchen from stud to stud, which meant we were eating pizza for a long time. And then there was the projects that I didn't even think about when I bought the house, which was the plumbing and gas lines. The water pipes were old, like 80 years old. So down under the house I went for weeks, pulling out hundreds of feet of pipe and replacing every single bit of it with new plumbing. And that space was tight. It's an actual crawl space. While doing all the waterworks, we also decided to put gas into the kitchen so we could have a gas stove, which meant cutting pipe, testing, sealing, and ensuring we weren't going to blow something up. Along with that came a new water heater and furnace, of which we installed the water heater ourselves, and I really could go on and on because there was even more than that. But I hope that you start to get the idea of the amount of work that went into this house, the amount of time, effort, and blood. But here's the thing. I'd never done any of the work required before we started. I had virtually no power tools, zero experience with plumbing and gas lines, and had never laid a floorboard in my life. I never used a chop saw, table saw, connected PEX pipes, or tested for gas leaks at all. I had to learn all of this from my family, friends, and of course, YouTube. It was a time of tremendous learning, experimentation, and just trying something out. What I found out along the way was that I had to believe I could do these things that seemed impossible to me. Maybe they sound intimidating to some of you, and that's just how game dev and programming can seem when you're starting out or trying to learn a new set of skills. Have you ever used a shader? I know I put them off for a long time because they seemed scary, but the thing is, if you give it a try and believe you can succeed, odds are pretty good that you will. The mindset you go into when learning something new is the difference between succeeding and giving up. I didn't know how to put up drywall in February, but by March, I sure did. I had a lot of help along the way, but if I hadn't tried, all the help in the world wouldn't have mattered. I believed, I gave it my all, and after my many, many failures, I got there. And if you want to be a great programmer, game maker, or whatever, believe you can get there, and then move that way every step. So the house was a big part of my life, and it still is. Tons of projects out. But as the renovations have slowed down, another job began to take over, which was working with Yo-Yo Game. Perhaps you've seen me hosting some of their webinars or creating content for their channel. So I haven't left the GameMaker scene at all. I just transitioned over to working directly with them instead of putting out content on my own channel. It was a great situation for my family and provided the flexibility and income to help while working on the house. Because things were going well with them, I started to work a lot more for them, bumping up from a few hours a week to almost part-time. And that work stole me away from nearly everything else as I created tutorials, webinars, and game dev discussions with them. It's work I'm still doing, just on a less time-involved basis now. Working with Yo-Yo was really and continues to be great. I have loved meeting the people who work behind the scenes, getting involved with the beta releases, and helping the community thrive. If you haven't checked out the webinars I did, you should check them out. I think they're pretty great. Along with that work, I was once again forced out of my comfort zone to learn new things. I know it may come as a shock to some of you, but I don't know everything about GameMaker and programming. You remember when I talked about how shaders were scary to me? Well, Yo-Yo wanted a webinar on shaders when I really didn't know much about them at all. I had to dive headfirst in and believe I could learn about them and then be able to teach about them too. It was scary, it was tough, but it was also awesome. My hours with them are being shortened, which is giving me the time to start focusing on my own work and business. I'll still be making content for them, including a really awesome card game project, so stay tuned on their YouTube channel as well. And the last big piece of my life's puzzle has been my teaching career outside of YouTube. I began teaching at a school 2 years ago, actually teaching GameMaker as one of my classes. It's been such a great experience overall and a huge learning curve. I've gotten to see how students really learn day by day in front of me. I've been able to see the common pitfalls the different age groups from 6th grade to seniors commonly make and what they're interested in. I've seen such a wide array of games being made, art drawn, and fun ideas shared around. This experience has really changed how I see my teaching. I always thought I was good at teaching concepts to beginners, but I have a new appreciation for what a beginner really looks like now. From high schoolers not knowing how to right-click to terminology like sprite being completely unknown to them. I now understand not to take any knowledge for granted. Branding my tutorials and courses as beginner-friendly is true, but I may be creating a new category soon, one for truly new students. We'll see. But teaching in person has also had many heartwarming moments, like when I can see the excitement when kids talk about their ideas, or those moments when concepts come together in a meaningful way. There's something unique and awesome about teaching physical classes that I have found a lot of joy in, which I hope to be able to bring to more people soon. So stay tuned for that. I know that this experience specifically will help my future videos be more useful. My goal will be to bring more clarity and focus to each topic, to ensure I cover what you need to know and why you need to know that. The importance of the ability to think and solve problems cannot be overstated. Even if I were to try, I couldn't address every single way making a game can go wrong, or every permutation of a game you wanted to make. Instead, I believe if I show you how and why, it will give you the skills to make it your own and adapt it to suit your needs. The difference between a good teacher and a great teacher is clarity. My ultimate goal will be to ensure I am always clear when I teach, both in what I say and how I present the material. So now you know about what I've been up to. So let's talk about this channel. My goal with Let's Learn has always been to be the best resource out there for GameMaker content and game development topics. I also had a dream to turn this channel into a multi-topic resource to cover more of my hobbies like 3D printing, web development, and more. These are hobbies of mine, things I do either for fun, as side jobs, or classes that I teach. I had a dream of having multiple teachers combining all these different topics together and more. Now, I'm killing that dream dead, and instead going back to the heart of why I started on YouTube in the first place, to be the best resource for aspiring game developers. I want to share my passion and my knowledge. So this channel will be undergoing some naming and branding changes in the near future, but the ultimate goal will be to focus on what I believe y'all come here for: game dev tutorials and content. If I ever get around to it, perhaps I'll create a second channel where I can throw up my more miscellaneous videos, discussions, and tutorials that more kind of relate to the things that I enjoy outside of GameMaker. But this channel will solely be focused on helping you make games the best way possible. Right now, that's GameMaker, game dev discussions, and hopefully live streams of coding or dev breakdowns of indie games. I've got lots of ideas, but they'll have to pass through the funnel of focus if you're going to see them here. To aid in being a more useful resource, I'm going to be opening up my community on Discord to everybody. In the past, you needed to have a financial supporter or have purchased one of my courses to get in. Now, I'll be posting the link to join my videos in the description. I want to create a place for anyone who wants to find other developers, ask questions, and share their project and find encouragement from one another. So, starting today, if you haven't already joined the Let's Learn Discord, hop on. You can chat, hang out, ask questions, and show off what you're working on. Coming up soon will also be the opportunity to work with me and a small group on your passion project. This new resource will be aimed at those who have a game they're working on and just need that extra push to get it going again or finally get it finished. More details on that will be coming soon, so stay tuned. If you're still here at the end, thank you so much. You're a truly dedicated viewer, or maybe your battery died and you can't pause the video. Either way, thanks, and you're a rock star. I'm excited to jump back into GameMaker, video creation, and connecting with all the awesome folks like you that are out there, following their dreams. So, as always, keep making, keep learning, and I'll talk to you later.